Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Startup Garage Podcast, your source for all things startup. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Rick Pinkerman on the line, and he's CEO and co-founder over at NoticeNinja. Rick, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for having me.
All right, Rick, so I'm excited to get into today's topic. So we're going to talk about NoticeNinja and where you're at with the company. But before we do that, I'd like to get a little bit further into your background. So how did you get started in your career and as an entrepreneur?
Well, you know what? It goes way back. Everyone in my family actually are entrepreneurs. So I just kind of grew up. Everyone in my family, from uncles to aunts, have their own businesses. So I just kind of always kind of felt that I was going to be owning my own business at one point. Now, they all worked for somebody at first. So just like anyone else, I got my teeth basically chopped at one of the large accounting firms. And that's kind of how I started off is working for one of the larger accounting firms out there, and then basically wanting to basically service the clients a little bit differently than those large employer box were doing. So when I first started off, we started off basically with just a couple little small products, and that kind of grew out to what we have today. But for us, it was kind of always doing that, just helping other companies, and that's what we do. We help other companies.
So, Rick, you know, there's some people that listen to Startup Garage podcast because they wanna hear from founders, and maybe they're not quite as far along on their journey. Maybe they're just getting started on that entrepreneurial path, if you will. What kind of advice would you give to those newbies that are out there just kind of getting their businesses launched?
Oh, man, there's so many different advice to do. You know, I always do the thing of, you know, measure 3 times, cut once. And that's like the biggest deal for us, especially when you're small, you know, you're starting off. There's so many different things that try to take your money out of your pocket and so quickly, is just making sure that you're using the right utilities and the right resources for what you need now and not for tomorrow. Because if it works today, you'll be able to get the resources for tomorrow.
Man, I love that. I can hear my dad saying that right now. When you were saying that, I'm like, oh, I grew up with that one. I'm from the Midwest, and that's a big Midwestern one. I don't know. Like everybody grew up with that, or their dad in general saying this. I love it. It's great advice. Let's switch it up. So let's get into NoticeNinja. So I'm excited to talk about this product. So first off, tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Yeah, so NoticeNinja, it's brand new. We started up last month. Now, it is something from our previous company. You know, our previous company name was ANTS. It's an Agency Notice Tracking System. We kind of rebranded ourselves and going to a whole new SaaS-based solution. We've been actually doing what we do. I've been doing it for over 35 years. The first company I sold was a payroll company, and that was a byproduct of what we do today. Which was basically managing tax notifications is what our system does, and it's what NoticeNinja is today. NoticeNinja represents our ability to go in and streamline and standardize the processes that our clients are basically struggling with on a daily basis, which is managing tax and compliant notifications from federal, state, and city agencies.
So what are people using now? So give us some, like, a comparison, because you've been doing this a long time, first of all, so I had no idea. Like, I saw the new company, I saw the launch, but I didn't realize you were building on expertise, over 30 years. It's amazing. So what are people using now?
Well, so what it is, and it's right now is very wild time because of the whole coronavirus and work from home and all of that stuff. But mainly what we've done is we've digitized a manual process that has been in the back office forever. I mean, if you're a company and you deal with employees or taxes or any kind of business related function, any federal or states in the U.S., you're dealing with the compliance notifications. Most of our clients are just manual processes and using Excel. And that's 98% of our prospects come from that. And to give you an example, one of the largest retailers in the country, they are currently using over 2,000 Excel spreadsheets to manage these types of things with over 1,200 people. So
wait a minute, did you just say 2,000 Excel spreadsheets?
Correct.
Whew.
I mean,
okay, that just hurt my heart. I get it, but I'm just saying. I know it didn't start like that day one, right? It didn't start with 2,000. I get that these things build and processes build, whatever. But I'm like, you just hurt my heart. I'm like, whew. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just took me back.
Well, some of our clients, an example like a Honeywell is a client of ours, you know, and they have liabilities and compliance and notifications from everywhere that they do business. Right, so it's not just in the U.S. Our system manages notification and compliance from every single agency in the world. If a client is managing an agency and it's not in our system, they just go simply add it, and now they can actually add that piece to the compliance.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah. 2,000 example. One of our clients just put in 48,000 notices last month. So, yeah, there's the bigger company you get, and that's most of our corporate clients are Fortune 1000 companies. You know, they're really large companies. And then our other clients are service providers, you know, the payroll providers and the tax type of providers that get a lot of volume because they have a lot of clients.
So let's go a little bit further into that. Like, so meaning at the end of this, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave your website or social media or wherever you want people to follow up with. Like, what's typically the right type of business or organization to work with NoticeNinja?
Well, so what we deal with is we're dealing with either very large organizations, enterprises, Fortune 1000s, companies, or we're dealing with service providers. And a service provider would be like a payroll company, your CPA, right? CPAs. We work with CPA companies, and they manage their clients' notifications with our system. We don't go after every company because a lot of these companies, they use the CPAs or their payroll providers or their compliance companies, and that's who we really service is those guys. Is the big either you're really big and you're doing it yourself, or you're using a service provider. So, and those are the two main markets that we go after. And
awesome.
Not only in the U.S., but abroad. I think we've got 38 countries that we manage right now.
Let's talk about the money side of things. So, are you raising capital? Are you raising, or have you raised? I mean, give us a little bit more on the money side of things and where the company's at overall.
Yeah, what we've done, you know, we've been doing this now full time for 11 years. And so what we've done is we've done a lot of market research over the last 2 years, and we've identified a huge opportunity for us. And that was to convert to an online system and go to a more homogenized workflow-based system that we can easily get lots of clients going on. With that entails, so we've changed the company name and we are raising funds. We've just closed our first round of $300K on Friday, and we're opening up our next round of a $1.5 million convertible note. And that's going to be coming out. We're going to start pitching on that next week, I believe, to investors. So yeah, we're in the midst of it right now. We're bringing on that investment for 100% to scale the business. And that's what we're getting the investment for is scalability. We've got the product in a beta version right now, and the $300K that we just raised is to finish the development. And the 1.5 convertible note is truly to scale the product out. And not only that is, you know, we've got a list of clients that want to get on the system or prospects that want to use the system now. So.
Man, that's awesome. That's exciting. This is exciting, Rick. So that being said, so if somebody's listening to this and they want more information on NoticeNinja, whether they're one of those service providers looking for a solution, or a lot of executives in decision-making roles from large companies that listen to this podcast across the nation, what's the best way for people to connect and to learn more?
Well, they can go to our website, NoticeNinja.com. It has basic information. Our contact is listed there as well. If they want more information on it, they can reach out to us and set up a demo. I believe there's a site or a link there that they can actually schedule a time either for a live demo or for a call directly from the site.
Fantastic. Well, Rick, really appreciate you coming on the podcast today and sharing more about all the great work that you're doing over at NoticeNinja. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Startup Garage, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Rick, thanks again for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks, Adam. I appreciate you for having me.